Hi creatives, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Creative Light. If today is your first time of stopping by, you are welcomed. On this channel, I post sewing tutorials, hair accessories, DIYs, and crafts. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make this gorgeous Ankara Caribbean or Gypsy or tiara skirt. If you're a lover of easy breezy wears, then this tutorial is for you. I actually love the comfort and ease I feel when I wear skirts like this. If you're interested in learning how to make this gypsy skirt, the gypsy skirt is quite easy to make. An absolute beginner, a total beginner can make this skirt and you can rock it to any function. Let's get started. To make the gypsy skirt, you need your Ankara fabric. For the Ankara fabric, I have 4 yards. You need your tape rule, scissors, a piece of paper, your pencil and ruler. The first thing to do is to get the measurement for each tier of the skirt, right? The skirt is going to have a band. The band for the skirt is going to be 2 inches, right? I'm trying to draw how the skirt is going to look like. So this is the first layer, the second layer, and the third layer, right? It has 3 layers, that's 3 tier. The length of the skirt is 41, right? Then the length of the band is 2 inches. So to get the length for the 3 tiers, you say 41 minus 2, which is the band. You get 39. That means whatever answer you get, you're going to divide it with the number of layers that you want to do. I'm doing 3 layers, right? So I divided 39 by 3. 39 divided by 3 is 13, right? For the first layer, I'm going to join it to the band and also join it to the second layer. The same thing I'll do for the first layer is the same thing I'll do for the second layer. So I'm going to add 1 inch, half inch for up joining and half inch for down joining. So it's going to be 13 plus 1 will give me 14, right? And that 14 inches will be the length for the first and second layer. I hope you understand me. For the third layer, I'm going to join the third layer to the second layer with half inch, then also hem it at the down. The hemming allowance at the down is going to be 1 inch. That's half plus 1 is going to be 1.5. So I'll do 13 plus 1.5, which will give me 14.5, and that will be the length for the third layer. I hope you understand me. So this is the calculation you're going to use for the length of the skirt. Now let's do the calculation for the width of the skirt. I'm trying to draw the skirt again. The first layer, second layer, and third layer. Done the length. This one is for the width. I'll label it width. The direction is going to take. That's the roundness. So for the first layer, I'll do hip times 1.5, right? The hip measurement I'm working with is 40 inches. Then I added 2 inches to that 40 inches for sewing allowance, right? Making it 42. So I'll do 42 times 1.5. I hope you understand me. Calculate it with my calculator. 42 times 1.5 is 63 inches. 63 inches will be for the first layer, the width for the first layer, right? For the second layer, the 63 I got, I'll do 63 times 1.5. 63 times 1.5 will give me 94.5. So I just approximated it to 95, a whole number, right? 95 inches is the width of the second layer. For the third layer, that 95 I got for the second layer, I'll multiply it by 1.5. 95 by 1.5 will give me 142.5. I also approximated it to 143, right? So 143 is the width of the third layer. So what I'm going to cut for the first layer, I'm going to cut 14 inches by 63. Second layer, 14 inches by 95, sorry. Third layer, 14.5 by 143. I hope you understand me. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to use your own measurements to cut it. So I've gone ahead to cut my fabric. This is the first layer. This is the second layer, right? The second layer is wider than the first layer, but they are the same inches. But they are the same length. That's 14, right? The third layer is also wider than the second layer. So this is the first layer. The second layer, I'm going to gather the up of the second layer, right? I'm going to make a gathering stitch. Then I'll gather it to the width of the first layer. That's the 63 inches. I'll gather that 95. Then I draw it to 63 inches for the first layer so that I can attach it to the first layer. I hope you understand me. Measuring it to get the 63 inches. I'll bring the first layer. I'll attach the second layer that I have gathered to this first layer like this. I'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch it. I've attached the second layer to the first layer, right? I'll do the same thing for the third layer. I'll gather the up of the third layer, right? I'll gather it to the width of the second layer. That's the 95 inches, right? I have attached the third layer to the second layer and also hemmed the down of the third layer. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. When joining the sides, you make sure the seam aligns at those layer points, right? So I went ahead to cut my lining. I'm using lining because of the kind of Ankara fabric. Is a small Ankara and I want the lining to give it a bit of structure. I cut my lining 63 inches. That's the first layer by 36 inches. My lining is just a straight lining, right? Then I also went ahead to sew the sides of the lining. The lining now, I will put the seam side, the seam area. I'll attach the seam of the lining to the seam of the main fabric. I'm going to pin it, right? So that it can have a neat finish inside. I'll pin it round. So I've pinned the lining to the main fabric. I went ahead to cut my band 2.5 inches length by 63 plus 1. That's 64. That's the roundness of the first layer. I hope you understand me. So I'll open the ends. See the way I open the ends? I'm going to sew it. When I sew it, I'll fold it back. Right? I have sewn it. The next thing I'm going to do is the seam line for the skirt, I'm going to align it to the seam line of the band. You make sure that they align, right? You just place it right side facing each other. Then you pin the band round the skirt. And sew it. When you sew it, you leave 1 inch opening to attach elastic. For the elastic band, I use the exact waist. You use your exact waist measurement for the elastic band. I have attached the band. I left the 1 inch opening. Then I'll pass my elastic through that 1 inch. And when I get to the end, I'll close it up. Also close up the 1 inch. That's it basically. Our skirt is ready. It's quite easy to make. Right? So I'll go ahead to weave the inside of the band to give it a neat finishing. Alright, that will be the end of today's tutorial. If you found this video useful, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask your questions and I'll gladly respond to them. If you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. Alright, see you in my next one. Bye.